Oh, so welcome to Mad March Mile TV, and we're going to start off with Mark. And the reason we're going to start off with Mark, because on the first 3 days of Mad March Mile, Mark was the first to post. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, it could have been Sean. Yeah,
What time
yeah.
are you getting up in the morning, Mark?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. And why are you
And
going
then
out
I
on
go
a run?
out about. Sorry.
Why are you going out on a run so early?
So I do a run before work because I feel at my work I'm stood on my feet all day and I'm just not motivated when I come home.
You just want to sit on the sofa and relax, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just I get up a bit early and go out and do 3 miles before I go to work.
Is it always 3 miles? Is it you doing?
Yeah, I occasionally might do a little bit longer, but this week it's just been 3 miles.
Have you?
Yeah, it's taking it easy.
But today you went out.
Yeah, I've done 6 this morning, but yeah. Trying to build up slowly, get back to where I was a couple of years ago.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So you've just done all running this week? No rest?
One walk. I think ran for the first 3 days, walked on Thursday, ran Friday, Saturday. And try to go out again tomorrow. But,
What about you, Grace? How's your first week been?
Yeah, really good, really good. Managed to go out most days and sort of up in the distance as well. I'm going to try and sort of do a 5K a day. I'm starting to feel a bit stronger now as well. It's been more consistent. So, yeah, no, it's been good. Really good.
So we'll move on to Carrie. How long have you been Mad March Smiling, Carrie?
I think, well, the mug I've got this morning is 2016. So I'm not sure if that was the first one or if I did the year before as well. I'm not 100% certain.
I think you've done almost all of them, haven't you?
So a few years.
And how did you hear about it? Was it just kind of through Parkrun, probably? Wasn't
it? Through Parkrun, yes, and your amazing family.
Annoying, probably, isn't it? Just can't get away from us. That's the problem, isn't it? And how's your first week been? What kind of exercise have you been doing? Because you do some amazing stuff. I can't believe it.
Well, no.
On a blow-by-blow account, Carrie.
Pardon?
I want a blow-by-blow account of your.
Definitely not. Well, this March I decided to do at least 4K a day, and partly because there's some people in the world that have to walk at least 4K every day just to get water. So the first day I walked to my nearest local water source that's not within my house. Was half a K to the nearest brook. Oh my goodness, if I had to do half a K there and back every day, that would be a bit go and get water.
Especially carrying it back.
Yeah, exactly. So so to date I've done, it's probably a bit like Gretchen with nearly or at least 5K a day, but I found instead of Gretchen getting stronger, I'm getting slower.
Yeah.
How many K, is it 4K every day, or have you done more than that some days?
So yeah, mostly I've done just over 5K so far, but we're only on day 6, so yeah. Let's see.
You're planning on having any rest days when you just kind of do a walk or something like that?
Yeah, so it does tend to be a bit of a mix of run walk. So, I have been on most days. I think it's only one day where I actually went by myself. So all the other days there's been somebody else that I've been going with. And so some people are working on the couch to 5K or just want to do a walk.
Yeah. Do you mind? So just say over the last year, how many days have you rested completely where you've not been out walking at all? And stuff like that. Would you say quite a few? Or?
Yeah, I think, well, ironically, I don't do much during the week. My parkrun time seems to be a bit better than when I do more during the week, which doesn't really make sense.
Well, it does in a way, because I think you do a lot of exercise, and I think from the coach's point of view, the what makes you fitter is the recovery sections, and they prepare you for the next phase of your kind of training, and then makes you fitter for that. If you keep training and training on top of training, you're exhausted, and then you train on top of being exhausted.
Yeah,
So
it could be
the
that.
theory goes is that you do need a section of recovery. I mean, during Mad March Mile, I'm using walks as my recovery, and I will just walk the mile on a Friday, and I won't do anything.
Yeah.
You have to try and recover a bit for the weekend, and maybe like I did today, a speed session or something like that. So it is important to get those recoveries.
Yes.
And you'll
I
find
think
that if
need...
you're interested in, you know, we're not all interested in improving our times. I know that from our match well, but if you are interested in improving your fitness and your level of, you know, your pace, then it's important to get those recoveries in at least once a week, depending on what your kind of a level of activity is, maybe even twice a week or 3 times a week.
Yes.
But so
yeah, I think I definitely need to mix things up a little bit more.
Yeah,
really.
but I know you're quite addicted to getting out every single day and doing it.
Well, that's the only thing, and also I don't know, I've booked onto 2 marathons in October, so I thought, well, better do something towards
2 marathons in 1 month. Is that what you just said?
Well, yeah, it was a bit silly, really. One from last year, and then one I thought, oh, well, that sounds quite nice. So I haven't done that one before, so I'll do that one.
2 in 1 month.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 in a year. I don't think Paula Radcliffe wouldn't even do 2 in 1 year.
Oh, well, I'm not aiming for anything like that. I'm just aiming to finish within the cut-off time.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Right then, we'll go over to Tim and Sarah, because is this your first year Mad March Miling? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is, mate. Yes.
How did you hear about it? I can guess, but tell us.
Well, I think it was Sarah and Gretchen were speaking, and yeah, as they normally do. And got Sarah roped in, and then I was on the Zoom call, the first Zoom call, and I thought, well, if Sarah's doing it, perhaps I ought to.
Excellent. So what we've been up
we could do it. Sorry.
There's lots of different forms of exercise involved in Mad March Mile. Originally, it was about running, but then we soon realised that that there was more and more people that wanted to just come along and do some walking or do some biking and do other forms of exercise. So what have you done before Mad March Mile, and what have you done during week 1?
To be honest, I mean, we're not very, or let's say we've started to get into exercise over the last couple of years, but be it a longer walk rather than a run.
Yeah.
And so I suppose we're progressing to start into a jog at some point, but still not quite there. But I mean, our fitness was pretty poor, I would say, before. We were quite sort of lazy with it. But I think we are getting there now with sort of trying to do the hilt sessions, and I think a little bit of like when we were in lockdown, I had 10 weeks off, and we started off like with the mornings doing like boxing classes, hilt sessions, all that type of thing. And that's sort of got us sort of inspired really to do a little bit more. So this coming along as well is quite a nice thing, just to take it to the next level for an everyday thing, to make sure you do it.
So is it a structured plan that you're working to, or is it something?
Well, sort of not really. It's just sort of, we're a little bit sort of see how it goes, sort of feel your way into it a little bit. But yeah, we're quite liking the sort of exercise side of it, and I must admit, after you've done it, like everybody used to say, you feel wonderful after, and I was a little bit of a believer of, I don't think you would do, but now we do it, I can understand that, because I do feel fresher, even after a 20-minute Joe Wicks or half an hour Joe Wicks session. Afterwards, you feel so alive, and I love it. I must admit.
Yeah, it is. But that's kind of partly why Gretchen and I set Mad March Mile up, because going out the door and doing the first step is the most difficult bit, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And the last step is euphoric, isn't it? And it's like,
it is.
When you switch it, I use the Garmin. When I switch my Garmin off, that is such a good feeling. And then you come in and I analyze all my statistics. I don't know why. I'm never going to be a fast runner, but it's just fun to kind of, that last step is just such a good feeling. I kind of don't really enjoy running to that extent. Fiona loves the whole process of it. I don't actually enjoy it that much, but the fact is it does give you this big buzz when you finished your exercise, whatever it may be, cycling, running, walking, whatever. I must admit, walking's lovely as well. I do
Yeah.
quite like the walking.
Well, we've seen deer, herons, kingfishers,
Yeah.
you know, and we love squirrels, so we've seen the squirrels dancing around it.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice because you notice so much more as well when you're walking and you're talking as well. So perhaps at home, Tim would be in the garage or I'd be in the kitchen, so you tend to talk more as well. So we've loved it. We've
Yeah,
really
sure.
enjoyed
But
it.
where did you spot the kingfisher? Was it on the canal? That's the only place I've seen one.
The kingfisher was down on the canal in Bradford.
Right.
That was by the swimming pool end.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was on the main river. On the river.
Sorry, on the river.
On the riverbank.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna say.
You know, on the back of the river, on the back of the swimming pool in Bradford.
Yeah, I know it.
And
He is
he is there
Always there.
pretty much all the time.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Albeit quite hard to
beautiful
see,
colours.
but he's always there.
That's
Yeah.
a nice backdrop as well, because there's a posh house over opposite. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's there.
yeah, definitely.
I'll have to have
Beautiful.
a proper look down there.
And
next
then
time.
up at Winsley, when we walk there, we see all the deer.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer in Winsley.
Yeah, it's
So,
gorgeous.
yeah.
So we try and do different walks. So we take it in turns planning every day. So we take it in turns planning the walk, and we walk for about 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, roundabouts. Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
also I do other exercise as well throughout the day.
Well, like exercise classes or Joe Wicks and things.
Yeah, I tend to do about a 45-minute hill session, and then I do about an hour to 2 hour walk as well in the day.
Blimey.
Only because I'm not working, so I'm trying to sort of get a new routine going.
Yeah, that's it. That's all about it. It's great. So when you're doing the walk run, is it kind of like run for a minute, walk for a minute? Do you do it structured like
It's a
that?
very light jog.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's all right.
There's a lot of wobbly bits.
That's not me.
So there's a kind of a couch to 5K. I don't know whether you heard about this kind of couch to 5K that starts off where you kind of week one might be running for a minute, then walking for a minute, running for a minute, walking for a minute. And when I say running, it's just like make sure your feet come off the ground or whatever. It's slow.
Yeah.
Running actually as slow as you possibly can. So
Yeah.
that's the main thing. And then like week two, you might do that 3 times in week one, and then week two, maybe you're running for a minute and a half, and then resting for a minute, walking for a minute rather, and just so it's gradually increasing the levels, the interval levels of you doing your slow jog,
Right.
and maybe even ultimately decreasing the recovery times, or just keeping them the same, so that then you end up running for a higher percentage of the total degree of exercise. So we do a kind of a 10-week or a 12-week program at our local running club, and we occasionally do it at Park Run as well. So and we have people that just walk the whole of Park Run as well. So those are kind of useful things when they all start coming back and things like that. But that's a kind of structured thing that we do. So it's good to know that we're helping you, that March Mile is helping you kind of further progressing your exercise anyway.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
We got to Dawn then. So what have you been up to, Dawn? How many times is this your first Mad March Mile, or have you done it?
No, this is our third.
Third. Oh, I'm speaking to the other side of the two, Dawn.
Oh, sorry.
I was looking up at Dawn H. Sorry.
Sorry.
I thought I said that without moving my lips.
Yeah, I thought she's
Oh,
French.
yeah.
And she's got a Sawyer accent.
Yeah,
Dawn H.
it's my first Mad March Mile. Yes, I saw it advertised on the Southwick Park Run Facebook page, and thought, oh, that sounds like a good sort of challenge, because at the moment there's not a lot, is there, out there to keep you motivated. There's no, well, they're just starting to get races through, but there's been this void of nothing out there really to focus
no
on.
events, no park runs, no clubs.
That's
nothing,
it. And it's very, very easy to just think, oh, I'll not bother today. You know, but this, I thought, well, it's a bit of a challenge, and it'll make sure that I get out every day. So I thought I'll sign up for it. And it's a good cause, of course, as well.
Well, we've been doing it for 8 years. We've never had this kind of numbers anywhere near this kind of numbers. This is triple the last year, which was our biggest year. So
Amazing, isn't
I think
it?
it's just suited the occasion, hasn't it? But how's your first week been? What have you been up to? What exercise do you do? Do you walk, run, or?
Well, normally I do a mixture of walking some days and running other days. I've got a dog who needs exercising every day, but I don't know. I was told, it's the first dog we've ever had, and I was told before, oh, you know, get a dog. They're good for making sure you go out and exercise every day. Well, That's a farce, because he just stop and sniff, and you're dragging him along. Think, come on, I want to get on with it. I'm better going out for my walks on my own, I've decided. But this week I've been running. It's very unusual for me to run every day without a break, but I'm a member of an online running club who set a challenge to run the sun, they call it. So every day in March, we're supposed to run 1 kilometre on the 1st of March, 2 kilometres on the 2nd of March, 3 kilometres on the 3rd, and so on all the way through. When you get to 10, it's 1 + 0, so it's back to 1 kilometre. 11th is 1 + 1, so it's 2 kilometres right the way through. So for this month, I thought I would have a go at doing that as well. So I've been running every day. It's been all right. So yeah.
Oh, well done, well done. I mean, are you allowed on this challenge to kind of walk the Ks instead, just in case?
Well, you can run walk. You could run walk. So there are people who are doing Jeffing, as they call it, after Jeff Galloway. So they're doing a mile, a minute walking, and then a minute running, and or whatever intervals they want. But the idea is that it's recorded as a run of some sort each day. Yeah. Some of my runs are so slow, it's 14-minute miles. So it really is just, fast walking, really.
It's a lot faster than if you were sat on the couch, though, isn't it, really?
Well, it is, yes, yeah. And there's always, they put this little proviso on, don't break yourself, sort of thing. So if you get to the point where it's starting to hurt, you just think, well, it's only.
That's my only concern on these kind of challenges, is along with Mad March Mile, is like, it is important probably to kind of try and walk one, maybe the 1K, maybe use that as a kind of rest day, and maybe walk most of it and just like proper recover.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. 31 days running constantly, probably, unless you're like very used to training 6 days a week or something.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite a lot for the system to bear. So
absolutely, yeah.
Should we move on to Linda then? Linda.
Hi, yeah,
how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm new to this one. It was interesting to hear you say, Sean, about the AVR 12-week beginners. I did that. It must have been about 5 or 6 years ago. And then my job took me to London, and it wasn't really safe to run when I was up there. And I regret letting it slip. And I retired 2 months before the first lockdown in March. So all the plans that I had have kind of been put on hold for a while. But I found this Mad March Mile on Facebook and thought, well, it's a great chance to make sure I get out there. Certainly want to improve my fitness. I've lost a bit of weight since I retired, but that's kind of stagnated a bit. So I need to do a lot more. It's a great cause as well. So it all kind of came together at the right time.
And have you been running or walking, or what have you been doing in week one?
I'm doing a walk run. I'm so slow. I've got a long way to go. But as you say, it's better than sitting on the couch.
No, we won't talk paces, but how far are you walk running?
It depends, actually. I did 1 mile the first night. I think I was up to about 2 or 3 the other night. Really short distances, but as long as I'm on my feet and keeping moving, it's progress.
And you don't feel like the Mad March Mile is motivational for you as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah, and these mornings, just hearing from other people is good as well.
Yeah, well, so, Sarah and Tim and Dawn and Linda, you're going to end up with one of these mugs.
Sounds good.
Which are great. They are absolutely amazing, and they're handmade. Oh, actually, I've got the wrong one here. This is Fiona, but it's going to have your name on it as well. So it's well worth it. We've got a lot of them now. We've been doing it 8 years, but it's well worth it. The mugs are amazing. And it's made by a great guy. I think I got it. There it is. Well, it was pottery.
Yeah, I used to live in Westbury. I remember when that was once an infant school.
You're joking. That was a long time ago, Linda.
Well, I think it closed by the time I was at school, but my parents and so on were there. They always refer to it as the old infant school.
Do they? Oh, that's crazy. Well, I've got some news on that. Trevor's been in contact with us, and he's going to arrange a couple of coffee mornings in April once the mugs are made, and he's going to provide coffee and cake and kind of charge a little bit, and all the proceeds go towards Ronald McDonald House, and he'll provide all the cake and the coffee. You can collect your mug, and you can go in groups of 6, and we might organise some runs from there as well, because I think in April we're allowed to run in a 6, are we?
After the 12th, I think, isn't it?
12th of April, yeah. So he's going to do it after the 12th of April. He'll do some coffee mornings. So look out for that on the social media. But that's something that we're going to look forward to. It's really kind of Trevor to do that. But when you go there as well, if you get the opportunity to have a look around his workshop there and his showroom and have a look at all the kinds of different crockery that he does. But it's not ridiculously expensive for handmade crockery either. You know, if you look on Denby or something like that, the prices compare, and this is handmade in Westbury, and you know, he's even got kind of your personalisation on it. It's quite incredible what he does. It's good, and it's great that he helps us out. Phil, how are you getting on?
Yep, oh, fine, thank you. Yeah, enjoying it.
And how long have you been Mad March Miling? This isn't your first year by a long way.
No, this is my third year. I picked it up because the first, I was taking photographs at one of the park runs, and you asked me to take photographs of the presentation for the Mad March Mile afterwards.
Yeah,
so the next year I started doing the Mad March Mile.
so I volunteered you, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil does a lot of photography for us when Martin's not about, don't you? You're our...
Well, I tried to, yeah. There's quite a few I was doing photographs now, but I quite enjoy doing the photographs when Martin is away. But it's a job to match up to his standards. That's the thing.
Oh well. No, you do a fine job for us. You do a fine job for us at Parkrun. Thanks very much.
So I'm looking forward to June again when we can get back to get together again.
How's your first week been of Mad March Mile then? What exercises have you been doing, Phil?
Yeah, I've walked 3 days and run 2 so far. So I've got about 30 miles in so far this month.
30 miles?
Yeah, well, I've also taken part in something called Race at Your Pace. So I've set myself 150 miles on that for each of the last 3 months. So I've done 150 miles a month. So I need to get 5 miles a day in to meet that target.
So is that an online thing?
Yes, yeah, you get a medal for it, and it's it's an online thing, and it's got a Facebook page, so you speak to other people who are doing it as well.
Yeah, I think like Dawn's saying about her online club, and you said about your online club. I don't think I think it'd be great, especially towards the end of the month, that we publicise these things, just in case people need this kind of motivation for the next months, April, May, June. I know some people will just do Mad March Mile throughout the whole year, but that's only less than a handful of people will do that. By all means, put a link up to what you're doing and then spread the word, because that just sounds really motivational, what Dawn's doing and what Phil's doing online.
Yeah, well, the other one I'm doing is called Trail Everest Anywhere, and you do the height of Everest over a period. Well, so far I've got about 10,000 meters in, which is an Everest and a bit this month. So because I'm right on the edge of Salisbury Plain, I've got hills outside the door, really.
Whereabouts are you, Phil?
I'm in West Lavington. So I'm, as I say, I'm right at the bottom of the hill up onto Salisbury Plain. So I can get 200 meters in a day quite easily, really, because it's 150 meters up to the top of Lavington Hill.
How long does it take you to do 10,000?
It's 10,000 meters has taken me 2 months. I've done my first Everest by the middle of February, so I should probably get about 6 or 7 Everests in this year.
Well done, you.
I did 4.5 last year, so I'm way ahead of that.
And you're averaging 6 miles a day?
5 or 6 miles a day, yeah.
You must be going straight uphill.
Well, it's no, because if you think about it, 150 miles, 5,000 meters. It's about 30 meters up and down per mile. I've got a little table on my computer, a little spreadsheet with a pivot table on there, which tells me I'm walking about 30 meters up for every mile I do.
So you must need to do twice as much, because you've got to come back down?
Yeah, that's right. About 30 meters up, 30 meters down per mile.
Well done, you.
That's incredible.
So
it's just the hills that much.
Pardon?
I hate the hill on Parkrun.
It's a slope, Sean.
why I'm walking a lot more, because I struggle to get up the hills on a run these days.
Yeah, I just head for the flat. Today I did 3.6 miles, 82 feet.
Oh, right, okay. No,
So that's
well,
about 25 meters, isn't it?
I did 6 miles yesterday, and that was 190 meters.
Oh, so that's twice as much.
So that's about 30 meters per mile uphill, obviously, and downhill as well. Yeah.
That is really hilly. That is really.
So, that's why I'm not going on the canal quite so much these days, because I want to get.
That's no good to you whatsoever, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise how you feel. That's
But
incredible.
yeah.
Well done,
So, but it's setting these targets, and because every year I go up to the Lake District perhaps half a dozen times, so I get plenty of height in then. But the last couple of years, of course, last year and this year, I haven't been able to get to the Lake District at all. So
no.
So I'm having to try and do it locally.
I had a holiday. Well, we had a holiday booked last Easter, and that got delayed to this Easter. Now it's been delayed to next Easter. Up in
Yeah, right.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? Well, we've got a Mad March pilot who lives in Ambleside. In fact, she's the oldest member to ever done the Mad March Mile, and she's doing it in Ambleside, doing the walks round the lakes.
Yeah, great.
She's 83 years old.
Yeah, but it's a great thing you're doing. So it's nice to be able to have the motivation and to know that you're supporting a good charity as well.
Yeah, it's great to know about the charity, and the charity's fantastic this year, and they've been, really embracing everything. Should we move over to Team Sawyer? Although Carrie had her hand up in the air, I don't know what that was about.
No, those are reactions you can do to what people say. So it's like a thumbs up or or something like that.
Yeah, well done, Phil. Well done, Phil. Team Sawyer.
Hello.
How many Mad March miles have you done? There's 3 of you, isn't there? But one's missing.
There's 3 of us, yeah, we're all doing it, yeah. So George as well, and that he's playing on his Xbox at the minute with his friends and that, so leaving it be. We've done it every day, haven't we? So we've written down. So we've run, we've walked. George had PE one day and said, "Dad, will you do PE with me?" So I booked a slot with in my calendar at work and that to do PE with me, and then I was a 12 o'clock slot. And then he come down at 11 o'clock and said, "Oh, it's yoga." So we all did yoga with him, and I've done a session, one of Pete's sessions with George as well. We did that yesterday. And that one a bit funny, when they work outside the box, and that's I've done everything this week. Yeah.
And I've done the AVR coaching, the Couch to 5K. I'm supporting a lady through with AVR. So I've done a run with her. Obviously done the stuff with George and Colin, and we're also all training for the back half virtual next weekend. So this is proven very good to keep the fitness up, isn't it?
Yeah. Makes you accountable as well, because you've obviously got to post what you're up to each day, and that's nice as well.
Yeah. And I'm also doing the I like a bit of bling, so I'm doing the Great Run solo accumulators. And I've done them since the first one, the Great North accumulator from last September. So every month I put in for a new accumulator and get a nice bit of bling at the end of the month. It's great. So I've got a nice little box full of. I'm waiting for a medal to come. So yeah, it's all good.
How many years have you been doing the Mad March Mile?
3.
This will be our 3rd one.
Will it?
So we've got the beige mug, we've got the green mug, and now will be the blue one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've even sorted out my mug cupboard so that I've got space to stick them in, because at the moment they're on my half.
That's confidence that you're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
That is prepping well in advance, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
we've got just one cupboard completely dedicated to Mad March Mile, Mum.
Yeah, you must have, if you've run that for 8 years. Yeah.
This is the first year they've done T-shirts, and
I ordered George's yesterday, and that. So yeah, we did our donation yesterday.
So we did two batches of T-shirts. One was for people that wanted to wear them during the Mad March Mile. That you had to order those by the 8th of February. Yeah. But there's a post up. I think it's under the announcements at the top of the page. If you want a T-shirt, these are T-shirts which will be ready early April as a reward for doing your Mad March Mile. And the T-shirts are free, providing that you donate for one night's accommodation for a family at Ronald McDonald House in Bristol, and they kind of support families who've got a child in hospital, and they can't, the travelling there is too far for them to go. And like the hospital in Bristol does support people over in Cornwall, the whole of the southwest. So you can imagine how helpful that might be to help support people. So if you donate £35, that pays for one night's accommodation for one family, one room, and then you'll end up getting a personal, and it says my name on the back as well, an MM21 Ronald McDonald House T-shirt.
Yeah.
Very
we ordered ours for George yesterday, so I think he ordered it at lunchtime, and by tea time we'd had an email back from Frankie saying that she'd got everything, and it was, it's on her list, and that was great, and that. So yeah, with it being a white one, it's quite good for George, because George sometimes likes to go for a bit of a run on his own. Nigel wants to be sort of let loose of mum and dad, and that's, as long as we know where he's going and what, it takes his phone with him, and that will let him go out. With it being white and that, it's quite, he's quite visible rather than the usual blacks and navy blues and that he's got.
No, it's sensible to have a t-shirt so the cars can see you and stuff like that. That makes total sense.
Yeah, we're really. I think the Mad March Mile one is great for families. I think it's one of those ones where the whole family can get involved. It's not just, you can do whatever you need to do each day to get your sort of your mile in. So for us as a family, it's great that we can all do something together, but it be, you're doing some good for somebody else as well.
Gretchen, you can comment on that, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, all our boys are taking part this year, which is really nice.
3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them. So 2 of them are in London, and one of them is here with us. And and it's great. It's really nice that they're all getting involved.
Funny, isn't it?
Sorry?
There are days when we all have to do our own things. Like there's days when I'll run and Dawn like be doing their ABR mentoring and that. So there are days like that we'll have to go and do things separately and that. But every sort of second day, that we can do something as a family, which is quite good. Like even like doing like the yoga in the sitting room sort of thing. Just about enough room for us all 3 to sort of just about to do that and that. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. We enjoyed it. And this is our 3rd year and that. So we won't come back if we didn't like it.
Yeah, well, I think in Gretchen's family, they've kind of got like 1, maybe 1.5 runners out of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I think
it's like you should say, it's not just running, is it? You can do anything. Yeah, as long as it's cycling.
Yeah, they've been walking. Yeah, they've been walking, cycling.
Yeah. That's just saying to Dawn when I was doing my little list of what we've done this week, and that we haven't done the bike yet.
Bikes will come out this week.
The bikes, the weather's sort of starting to improve a little bit as well. Yeah, we'll have the bikes out as well.
Gretchen's youngest isn't a runner at all, and I think he's just been hoodwinked into it, really, because it's too early.
I'm keeping an eye on him on Strava.